Adanna and Chike had a love many envied. From the moment their paths crossed, they knew they were meant for each other. Chike was charming, intelligent, and full of ambition. Adanna was drawn to his unwavering confidence and the way he spoke of his dreams with such conviction. When he proposed, she didn't hesitate. She envisioned a life filled with love and adventure by his side. What she didn't know was that Chike had staked his future on a crypto investment, convinced it would yield great returns. On the eve of their wedding, everything came crashing down. The cryptocurrency Chike invested in plummeted overnight. His entire fortune disappeared like smoke in the wind. The devastating news spread through his family like wildfire. His grandfather, Chief Okafor, the patriarch of their wealthy family, was furious. Chike had secretly funneled part of the family business's funds into his venture, convinced it would secure a brighter future. Outraged by his recklessness, Chief Okafor disowned him, stripping him of his inheritance and cutting all ties. In a blink, Chike went from a man of affluence to one who couldn't afford a meal. Adanna, unfazed by the sudden change, took on the responsibility of providing for their new home. She worked tirelessly at her marketing firm, taking on extra projects and working late nights, while Chike, broken and hopeless, moved in with her and her mother. His mother-in-law, Mama Ejima, saw him as a burden, a liability that would only drag her daughter down. Every day she taunted him, reducing him to nothing more than a houseboy. She belittled him in front of visitors, mocked him at the dining table, and found every opportunity to remind him of his failures. Chike endured the insults in silence, fetching water, running errands, and cooking meals while Adanna worked. The walls of their home whispered mockery at him, and his wife's cousin and best friend never missed a chance to humiliate him. They would smirk as he scrubbed the floors, whispering among themselves about how Adanna could have married someone with more stability. Chike adjusted to his new role, but it never got easier. Every mistake was amplified, every kindness ignored. He kept his pain locked away, never revealing the depth of his suffering. But deep within, he held on to hope. He still had faith in the remnants of his crypto investment, though it was worth almost nothing now. He waited and he prayed. Years passed. One morning, Chike woke up to an email notification. His nearly forgotten investment had skyrocketed beyond anything he had ever imagined. His account overflowed with wealth beyond belief. At the same time, his grandfather's empire crumbled, suffering major financial losses due to risky business moves and internal corruption. The once mighty empire of Chief Okafor was teetering on the brink of collapse. The old man, once so proud and cruel, had no choice but to call his estranged grandson. Chief Okafor begged Chike for assistance. The very man he cast aside was now his only salvation. But Chike was no longer the desperate man begging for food. He had the power now. He agreed to help, but on his own terms. The family business needed his resources, and in return, he was to be reinstated and given the CEO position of a subsidiary company, one that had strategic ties to Adanna's firm. Despite his newfound wealth, Chike returned home to his mother-in-law's scorn, choosing not to reveal his status. He still cleaned, still rode his old motorbike, still endured insults. He wanted to see who truly loved him. Meanwhile, Adanna's company faced bankruptcy. The only firm that could save them was managed by a powerful CEO, one who had been pressuring her for more than a business deal. The arrogant CEO tried to seduce Adanna with a gift, the highly coveted Dream Lovers jewelry set, but unknown to her, it was a fake. Chike, now immensely wealthy, quietly ordered the original and had it delivered to her anonymously. When the CEO saw his fake gift discarded, he was furious, believing she had discovered the truth. But Adanna was still clueless about who had sent the real one. Even with her silent supporter, Adanna faced immense pressure. Her mother, best friend and cousin insisted she divorce Chike, calling him a disgrace. They taunted him openly, urging her to seek a real man who could take care of her. She struggled with their words and doubt crept in. Chike, still playing the part of the poor husband, watched silently as those around her tried to turn her against him. Just when Adanna was on the verge of succumbing to the pressure, the pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. The mysterious CEO she had been trying to meet was none other than her own husband. The debts her company owed had been cleared by him. The jewelry, the sudden business approval, all of it was Chike's doing. Her heart pounded with shock. She confronted Chike. At first, anger and betrayal clouded her heart, but as the truth unraveled, she saw the depth of his love. Her mother, cousin, and best friend, those who mocked him, stood in shame as Chike finally embraced his rightful place. They moved into their mansion, wealthier than before, but this time, it was built on patience, endurance, and love. Chike's trials became his triumph. Adanna learned that true wealth isn't just in money, but in the character of the person beside you. Those who mocked him faded into the background, while Chike and Adanna flourished, stronger than ever. And so, their love story stood as a testament to resilience, faith, and the power of true partnership. But this was only the beginning of their new journey. With success came new trials, and with wealth came new enemies. Yet, as long as they had each other, they knew they could overcome anything. The news of Chike's return to wealth and power spread like wildfire. Some of those who mocked him now wanted to associate with him again. Mama Ejima, embarrassed by how she treated him, tried to mend their relationship, though her efforts felt forced. Chike, however, remained composed, treating everyone with kindness despite their past actions. Meanwhile, Adanna found herself overwhelmed by guilt. She had never fully turned against her husband, but she realized how close she had come. She vowed never to doubt him again. One evening, she sat beside him on their mansion's balcony, holding his hand tightly. "I will never listen to their voices again," she whispered. "I never doubted you," Chike replied with a small smile. "I just needed you to see the truth for yourself." As Chike settled into his new role as CEO, he discovered shocking details about the state of his family's company. Years of mismanagement had left it in worse shape than his grandfather admitted. He had to make difficult decisions to save it. Some long-time executives were corrupt, and his grandfather's pride made working with him challenging. At the same time, the CEO, who once tried to seduce Adanna, wasn't ready to give up. He was furious that his plan had failed and saw Chike as an obstacle. Secretly, he began plotting ways to bring him down. Chike's biggest test came when he discovered that someone in his grandfather's company had been sabotaging deals. It was his uncle, Chief Okafor's own son, who had been funneling money into a competing business. Chike knew that exposing him would lead to another family feud, but he couldn't let corruption continue. Adanna tried to mediate, but her mother's pride stood in the way. She had always believed herself to be superior to Chike, and now the reality of her own mistakes was a bitter pill to swallow. Adanna's efforts only seemed to push her mother further away, creating a rift between them. As the days went by, Chike's resolve to confront his uncle grew stronger. He gathered evidence, documenting every transaction and deal that had been undermined. The weight of his family's future rested on his shoulders, and he was determined to make things right. Little did he know, his uncle was not the only one hiding secrets, and the truth would soon shake the very foundations of their family. The day of reckoning arrived, and Chike called a family meeting to confront his uncle. The air was thick with tension as he presented his evidence, revealing the extent of his uncle's betrayal. Chief Okafor's face turned red with rage, but to Chike's surprise, he remained silent, his eyes fixed on his son with a mix of anger and shame. Chike's uncle, realizing he had been caught, tried to deflect blame, but it was too late. The family's trust had been broken, and Chike's determination to restore honor to their name had only just begun. As the meeting drew to a close, Chike made a bold announcement. He would be taking over as CEO of the family's company, effective immediately. The news of Chike's ascension to CEO sent shockwaves through the business community. Many questioned whether he was ready for such a daunting task, given his tumultuous past. But Chike was undeterred, using the skepticism as fuel to drive his success. He surrounded himself with a team of trusted advisors and set out to revitalize the company, implementing innovative strategies and cutting ties with corrupt partners. As Chike's vision began to take shape, Adanna couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and wonder. She had always known her husband was capable of greatness, but she had never imagined it would manifest in such a profound way. Together, they navigated the complexities of their new reality, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. As Chike's leadership began to yield positive results, he faced a new challenge: navigating the complex web of relationships within the company. There were those who were loyal to his uncle and resented Chike's sudden rise to power. Others saw him as a breath of fresh air, eager to work with someone who shared their vision for the company's future. Chike's approach was to lead by example, demonstrating his commitment to transparency and fairness. He spent countless hours listening to employees' concerns, addressing grievances, and rewarding hard work. Slowly but surely, the company's morale began to shift, and Chike's approval ratings soared. Meanwhile, Adanna's marketing firm was thriving, thanks in part to Chike's influence. He had introduced her to valuable connections, and his business acumen had helped her navigate the complexities of the industry. As her success grew, so did her confidence. She began to see herself as a true partner to Chike, rather than just a supportive wife. Together, they attended high-profile events, rubbing shoulders with the city's elite. Adanna shone brightly, her beauty and intelligence captivating the attention of many. Chike watched with pride, knowing that his wife was finally receiving the recognition she deserved. But little did they know, their newfound success had not gone unnoticed by those who sought to bring them down. A rival businessman named Victor had been watching Chike's rise to power with growing resentment. Victor had long been the dominant force in the industry, and Chike's sudden success was a threat to his own interests. He began to spread rumors and half-truths about Chike's business practices, trying to tarnish his reputation. Adanna, sensing the shift in public opinion, grew concerned. She knew that her husband's integrity was impeccable, but she also knew that perception could be reality. She urged Chike to take action to address the rumors and clear his name. But Chike, confident in his own innocence, was hesitant to engage with Victor's petty tactics. As the rumors continued to swirl, Chike's family began to feel the strain. His grandfather, Chief Okafor, was furious that his family's name was being dragged through the mud. He demanded that Chike take action, threatening to disown him once again if he didn't. Chike's mother too was worried, begging him to protect their family's reputation. Adanna stood by Chike, refusing to believe the rumors. She knew her husband, and she knew he would never compromise his values. Together, they weathered the storm, their love and trust in each other serving as a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. But Victor was far from finished, and his next move would prove to be his most devastating yet. Victor, determined to bring Chike down, orchestrated a dramatic public scandal. He bribed a former employee to falsely accuse Chike of embezzlement and corruption. The media pounced on the story, and soon Chike's face was plastered on the front pages of newspapers, accompanied by sensational headlines. The public's perception of Chike shifted overnight. His business partners began to distance themselves, and his reputation teetered on the brink of collapse. Adanna was devastated, but she refused to abandon her husband. She stood by him, her love and loyalty unwavering, even as the world seemed to turn against them. As the scandal raged on, Chike's family was torn apart. His grandfather, Chief Okafor, publicly disowned him, declaring that he was no longer a part of their family. Chike's mother was heartbroken, torn between her loyalty to her son and her duty to her husband. Adanna's own family was not immune to the fallout. Her mother, Mama Ejima, was embarrassed by the association with Chike, and she begged Adanna to leave him. But Adanna would not budge. Her love for Chike only strengthened by the trials they faced together. As the storm raged on, Chike and Adanna found solace in each other, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Determined to clear his name, Chike hired a team of investigators to uncover the truth behind the false accusations. They worked tirelessly, following a trail of clues that led them deeper into the heart of Victor's empire. Meanwhile, Adanna used her marketing expertise to launch a counter-campaign aimed at restoring Chike's reputation. She leveraged social media, rallying their supporters and sharing evidence of Chike's innocence. Slowly but surely, public opinion began to shift, and Chike's name was gradually cleared. As the truth began to emerge, Victor's empire started to crumble. His business partners deserted him, and his reputation was left in tatters. Chike, on the other hand, was hailed as a hero, his resilience and determination inspiring countless others. Adanna and Chike's love had weathered the storm, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever. They knew that their bond was unbreakable, forged in the fire of adversity. As they looked to the future, they knew that they would face it together as one. But just as they thought they had finally found peace, a new challenge emerged. Chike's grandfather, Chief Okafor, lay on his deathbed, his final wish a shocking revelation that would change everything. Chief Okafor's frail voice called out to Chike, his eyes sunken but filled with a deep regret. "My son, I am sorry," he whispered. "I was blind to Victor's manipulation. I wronged you, and for that, I am truly sorry." Chike's emotions swelled as he looked at the man who had once disowned him. He saw the genuine remorse in his grandfather's eyes and felt a weight lift off his shoulders. "I forgive you, grandfather," Chike said, his voice filled with compassion. With his final breath, Chief Okafor revealed a shocking secret. Chike's father, thought to have died in a tragic accident, was actually alive. The old man's eyes locked onto Chike's, filled with a deep sadness. "Find him, my son. Make amends. He is the key to our family's redemption." Chike's world was turned upside down. He had always believed his father was dead, and now he was faced with the possibility of reuniting with him. Adanna's hand found his, a grip tight with support. Together they vowed to uncover the truth and bring closure to their family's painful past. Chike's mind reeled as he processed the revelation. He had so many questions, but his grandfather's passing left him with only silence. He turned to Adanna, his eyes searching for comfort. "What do I do now?" he asked, feeling lost. Adanna's calm demeanor was a balm to Chike's frazzled nerves. "We'll find your father," she said, her voice filled with determination. "Together, we'll uncover the truth and bring healing to our family." Their search began in earnest, with Chike and Adanna scouring the globe for any hint of his father's whereabouts. They encountered dead ends and false leads, but their resolve remained unshaken. Along the way, they discovered hidden secrets about their family's past, secrets that shed new light on their present. As they dug deeper, they realized that Chike's father was not the only one who had been keeping secrets. Adanna's own family had been hiding a shocking truth, one that threatened to upend everything they thought they knew about themselves. Adanna's mother, Mama Ejima, had always been tight-lipped about their family's history, but as Chike and Adanna's search for Chike's father continued, they began to notice inconsistencies in Mama Ejima's stories. It was as if she was hiding something, but they couldn't quite put their finger on what it was. One day, while rummaging through Mama Ejima's attic, Adanna stumbled upon an old trunk, locked away and gathering dust. The trunk was adorned with strange symbols and markings that seemed to whisper secrets to her. Adanna's curiosity was piqued, and she felt an overwhelming urge to open the trunk and uncover the truth. As Adanna lifted the lid of the trunk, a musty smell wafted out, carrying with it whispers of the past. Inside, she found a collection of letters tied together with a faded ribbon. The letters were addressed to her mother, but they were not from her father. Instead, they were from a man Adanna had never heard of, a man who claimed to be a real father. Adanna's world was turned upside down. She felt like she was living in a dream where nothing made sense. She turned to Chike, her eyes searching for answers. "What does it mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Chike's expression was a mixture of shock and concern as he took the letters from Adanna. He scanned the pages, his eyes widening as he read the words. "It seems your mother had a secret relationship with this man," Chike explained gently. "He claims to be your biological father." Adanna felt like her whole identity was crumbling. She had always known her mother to be a private person, but she had never suspected a secret of this magnitude. She thought back to her childhood, wondering if there had been any signs or clues that she had missed. As Adanna struggled to come to terms with this new information, Chike was by her side, offering comfort and support. Together, they decided to confront Mama Ejima, demanding answers about Adanna's past. The conversation was tense, with Mama Ejima revealing a complex web of secrets and lies that had been hidden for decades. Adanna's mind reeled as she tried to process the truth. She felt like she was living in a stranger's skin, unsure of who she really was or where she came from. Chike's hand found hers, his grip tight with reassurance. "You are still the same person I love," he whispered. "Nothing can change that." Mama Ejima's revelations left Adanna reeling. She had always thought of herself as a strong, independent woman, but now she felt like her whole identity was a lie. She began to question everything she thought she knew about herself, from her childhood memories to her own name. Chike, sensing her distress, took her on a journey to uncover the truth about her past. They traveled to distant towns, meeting with people who had known her mother and father. With each new discovery, Adanna felt like she was slowly unraveling the mystery of her own life. As they dug deeper, they uncovered a shocking family secret. Adanna's biological father, the man who had written the letters, was not just any ordinary man. He was a wealthy businessman with connections to some of the most powerful people in the country. And he had been searching for Adanna her whole life, eager to reconnect with the daughter he had never known. Adanna's mind was reeling as she processed the news. She had always felt like something was missing in her life, and now she knew what it was. She had a father, a family, and a whole other life that she had never known about. Chike, sensing her emotions, took her hand. "We'll face this together," he said. "We'll meet your father, and we'll figure out what this means for your life." The meeting with Adanna's father was nerve-wracking. Adanna didn't know what to expect, but as soon as she saw him, she felt a sense of connections. He was kind and warm, with a deep love for her that was evident in his eyes. As they talked, Adanna learned more about her family and her heritage. She discovered that she came from a long line of strong, independent women, and that she had a rich cultural legacy that she had never known about. As Adanna learned more about her family, she began to feel a sense of belonging she had never experienced before. She realized that she didn't have to choose between her old life and a new one. She could integrate both and become a more whole and complete person. Her father, seeing the transformation in her, smiled with pride. "I'm so glad I got to meet you, Adanna," he said. "You are an amazing woman, and I'm honored to be your father." As Adanna and her father grew closer, Chike watched with a happy heart. He had always known that Adanna was special, and now he saw her blossoming into her true self. He realized that their love had been the catalyst for her transformation, and he felt grateful to be a part of her journey. Together, the three of them, Adanna, Chike, and her father, formed a new family unit, one that was built on love, acceptance, and a deep understanding of each other's complexities. As the days turned into weeks, Adanna found herself feeling more grounded and secure than she had in years. She had finally found a sense of belonging, not just with her father, but also with Chike, who had stood by her through thick and thin. Together, they decided to start a new business venture, one that combined their passions for entrepreneurship and community development. It was a daunting task, but with their combined skills and determination, they were confident they could make it a success. The business, which they named New Horizons, quickly took off. Adanna's father, who had a wealth of experience in the industry, became a valuable mentor and advisor. Chike's business acumen and Adanna's marketing expertise made them a formidable team. As New Horizons grew, so did their reputation. They became known for their innovative approach to community development and their commitment to creating positive change. Adanna and Chike's love continued to flourish, a beacon of hope and inspiration to those around them. Years passed, and New Horizons became a household name. Adanna and Chike's love continued to be the foundation of their success. They faced challenges, of course, but together, they were unstoppable. One day, Adanna discovered she was pregnant. They were overjoyed, knowing that their love was about to multiply. Chike was ecstatic, promising to be the best father he could be. Their baby boy, whom they named Kamsi, brought immense joy to their lives. Adanna and Chike were hands-on parents, balancing work and family life with ease. Kamsi's arrival strengthened their bond, and they knew that their love would continue to grow, guiding them through life's ups and downs. As they navigated the challenges of parenthood, Adanna and Chike remained each other's rock, their love shining brighter with each passing day. As Kamsi grew up, he was surrounded by the love and support of his family. Adanna and Chike's relationship continued to flourish, a testament to the power of true love. One day, Chike took Adanna on a surprise trip to the same beach where they had shared their first kiss. As they walked hand in hand along the shore, Chike turned to Adanna with tears in his eyes. "From the moment I met you, I knew you were special," Chike said, his voice trembling with emotion. "You are my soulmate, my partner, and my best friend. I want to spend the rest of my life making you happy." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Chike got down on one knee and pulled out a small box. Inside was a beautiful diamond ring, sparkling in the fading light. "Adanna, will you marry me?" Chike asked, his eyes shining with love and adoration. Adanna was taken aback by the proposal, but she didn't hesitate. Yes, yes, a million times, yes, she exclaimed, tears of joy streaming down her face. As they hugged and kissed, the sound of applause echoed through the air. They turned to see their friends and family, including Adanna's father and Kamsi, emerging from the shadows, huge smiles on their faces. But just as that they were about to celebrate, a figure appeared on the horizon, walking towards them with a determined look on his face. It was Victor, Adanna's former fiancé. He had been quiet for years, but it seemed he had been plotting his revenge. You think you can just move on and forget about me? Victor sneered, his eyes blazing with anger. Adanna stood tall, Chike by her side. I forgave you a long time ago, Victor, she said. But I will never forget the lessons I learned from our experience. You taught me to appreciate true love and to never settle for anything less. Victor's face turned red with rage, but Adanna continued. You also taught me the importance of forgiveness and moving on. I'm grateful for that. Victor's anger slowly deflated, replaced by a look of shock and realization. You've moved on, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. You're happy. Adanna nodded. I am. And I hope you can find happiness too, Victor. We all deserve a second chance. As Victor turned and walked away, Adanna and Chike shared a knowing glance. They had learned a valuable lesson about the power of forgiveness and the importance of moving on. Adanna and Chike's wedding was a beautiful celebration of their love, surrounded by friends, family, and the stunning scenery of the beach where they first met. As they exchanged their vows, Adanna's father looked on, a proud smile on his face. Kamsi, their son, was the ring bearer, beaming with excitement. Years later, Adanna and Chike would look back on their journey, grateful for the twists and turns that had brought them together. They knew that their love was the real deal, forged in the fire of adversity and strengthened by forgiveness and understanding. As they danced at the reception surrounded by their loved ones, Adanna leaned into Chike's chest. I'm so grateful for our journey, she whispered. It wasn't always easy, but it led us to this moment. Chike's arms tightened around her. I wouldn't change a thing, he said. I love you, Adanna. I love you too, Chike, she replied, smiling up at him. Years went by, and Adanna and Chike's love continued to grow. They built a life together, filled with laughter, adventure, and purpose. They traveled the world, exploring new cultures and meeting new people. Through it all, they remained each other's rock, supporting and encouraging each other every step of the way. One day, as they sat on their porch watching the sunset, Adanna turned to Chike with a mischievous grin. You know what I've been thinking? She said. What's that? Chike asked, raising an eyebrow. I think it's time we started a new adventure, Adanna said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Chike's face lit up with a smile. I'm in, he said. What's the plan? Adanna's eyes sparkled with excitement as she outlined a plan. I want to start a foundation to help young women in our community, she said. I want to provide them with education, skills, and resources to help them achieve their dreams. Chike's face lit up with pride. That's amazing, he said. I'm so proud of you. Together, they worked tirelessly to bring Adanna's vision to life. They spent long hours researching, planning, and fundraising. They met with community leaders, educators, and business owners, gathering support and resources for their cause. As the foundation began to take shape, Adanna and Chike's love continued to be the driving force behind it. They were a team working together to make a difference in the world. Years later, Adanna's foundation had become a beacon of hope for young women in the community. It had provided education, job training, and mentorship to countless women, helping them to achieve their dreams and become leaders in their own right. Adanna and Chike's love has sparked a movement, inspiring others to make a difference in the world. They had proven that true love can conquer all, and that together anything is possible.